All right, today we're jumping right into the blockchain world to talk about one of its biggest, most nagging problems. Seriously, it's a puzzle that has left so many projects stumped, a fundamental trade-off that seems almost impossible to break. And this is it. This is the question. It's called the impossible trinity, or the blockchain trilemma. So, can a network be super fast and handle a ton of users? That's scalability. Can it be run by the many, not just a few powerful players? That's decentralization. And of course, can it be safe from attacks? That's security. The problem? Nailing all three at the same time? Well, that's been the industry's white whale. You see, most networks are forced to pick two. They might be incredibly secure and decentralized, but man, are they slow and expensive. Or they're lightning fast, but you've got just a handful of entities calling all the shots. It's always a compromise. But then you've got Near Protocol, which, as our source material so perfectly puts it, kind of walks in and says, hold my validator node. They actually think they can pull off all three. So let's just formally break down this problem. This constant tug of war between speed, security, and decentralization, it isn't just some, theoretical headache for developers. It's the very thing holding back blockchain from really hitting the mainstream. And this is the honest truth for so many projects out there. They'll launch, and they'll have two of those pillars looking pretty solid. But that third one? It's coming soon. It's on the roadmap, part of a future upgrade, always just around the corner. But actually delivering on that promise, that's where things get really, really tough. So how is Near even trying to do this differently? Well, they have a core piece of tech that they believe is the master key to this whole puzzle. Let's take a look at their secret weapon. And that secret weapon is a concept called sharding. At its heart, the idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of having one single lane trying to process every single transaction, one after another, you split the whole network into multiple lanes, or shards. Now, each shard can handle its own batch of transactions all at the same time. And of course, our source material just couldn't resist throwing in a little joke to make sure the term sticks. Yeah, it's a technical term, but all it really means is dividing up the workload so you can get things done way more efficiently. This is the perfect way to picture it. Think about a popular blockchain at its busiest. It's like a one-lane road completely jammed with rush hour traffic. Nothing's moving, transactions are slow, and the cost to get through, your gas fee, goes through the roof. Sharding basically blows that road up into a massive multi-lane superhighway, letting all that traffic just flow, smooth and fast. Now here's the thing, not all sharding is built the same. Other projects are working on it for sure, but Near's version has a special trick up its sleeve. It's dynamic. What that means is it doesn't just build a highway, it builds a highway that can magically add or remove lanes depending on how much traffic there is. And the source uses this great restaurant analogy to explain it. When things are quiet, the network just cruises along with a few shards, a few open tables. But then a popular new app launches and transaction volume explodes. The dinner rush hits. The network automatically just spins up new shards to handle everybody. No waiting, no lines, no congestion. And then when things calm down, it scales back down to stay efficient. It's just an incredibly smart, responsive system. Okay, so that takes care of scalability. The highway is built and it's ready for traffic. Awesome. But what about the other two pieces of the Trinity? How does Near make sure this whole thing is both secure and truly decentralized? For security, Near uses a proof-of-stake system. This is something you've probably heard of. Validators lock up or stake their own tokens for the chance to validate transactions. If they try anything funny, they risk losing that stake. Simple enough. But Near adds a really clever twist to how it picks those validators in the first place. And this right here is the critical difference. In a lot of networks, whoever has the most money, the biggest stake, gets the most power. It's a system that naturally favors the rich. The source calls it nepotism. But Near looks at both the size of the stake and how well that validator has been performing. It's like hiring based on merit, not just who you know. And that is a total game changer because it pulls power away from just the wealthiest players and builds a more secure network run by the most reliable people, not just the richest ones. And as for decentralization, Near's whole architecture, especially with an upgrade called Nightshade, is built to support a huge number of validators without ever slowing down. Nightshade is a core part of their sharding design, letting the network split into more and more pieces as more people join to help run it. The source compares it to a team of chefs who can actually cook faster without burning the food. More participants just makes the network stronger and more resistant to censorship. Okay, so we have the tech, dynamic sharding for speed, merit-based staking for security, and a design that welcomes more validators for decentralization. That's the how. But why should any of us care? What does this mean for an everyday user or a developer trying to build something cool? Let's get to the so what. Well, the most direct, immediate benefit of all this high-tech efficiency is lower fees. Simple as that. By avoiding that network traffic jam we talked about, the cost of actually using the network stays super low and predictable. That makes it possible to build all kinds of apps that would just be way too expensive on other chains. But it goes so much deeper than just being cheap. Look at this. Near is laser-focused on the user experience. We're talking about things like human-readable account names, so think yourname.near instead of some crazy long string of letters and numbers. The entire experience from getting a wallet to using an app is designed to be as simple and intuitive as possible, getting rid of all the scary stuff that keeps normal people away from crypto. And this, right here, is the end goal. All this technology, all this focus on making things easy to use, it's all about building an infrastructure that can handle real, global, mass adoption. We're not talking about a few thousand crypto nerds. We're talking about the next billion people who come online. So we land right back where we started. Has Near actually done it? They've put together a really compelling case, right? They're tackling scalability with dynamic sharding, security with merit-based staking, and decentralization with this open, inclusive architecture. The source suggests it might just turn this impossible trilemma into a trilogy with a happy ending. I guess the only question left is whether this incredibly well-thought-out solution is about to become the new standard for everyone else.